What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Episode 37 of the Texans franchise. And we are here in week 11 after our win against the Seahawks. And if you didn't catch it from last week, this was the game I'm referring to. We won 37-28. It was a very big day for our offense, specifically our passing game. Both quarterbacks sort of did what they wanted to do. 3 touchdowns for Daniel Jones, Dylan Gilbert 3 as well, but he also had 2 crucial interceptions. Luckily, we were able to bounce back and overcome that. The rushing was pretty good. Jamarian Sweet, 13 carries, 76 yards. Kenneth Walker had a good day. And even Calvin Pearman had some good runs when he had his opportunities. I'm going to try to make sure I get him involved a little bit more in some certain packages going forward. Alex Poe was the story. 7 catches, $126, 2 touchdowns. He had some insane catches in that game. If you did not check it out, I highly recommend you go and check that out because he had some crazy catches, double coverage, throw it up, 50-50 balls, you name it, he came down with it in this game. Defensively, we didn't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. Jonathan Grenard had a few sacks, and then Charles Omenihu and DeAndre Chambers teamed up for one early on in the game. But outside of that, there really wasn't much else. We didn't have any interceptions, but we did have 2 fumbles, one from Grenard and then another from Greedy Williams, and luckily we were able to recover both of them. Of course, the one with Landry in the final minutes of the game ended up being a big turning point for us, and that's got me thinking a little bit more about the rest of this season. We are 4th in the division, even though we're at 5-5. We're 1 game out from both the Jags and the Titans, and then 2 games out at least from the Colts. We do have the Colts coming up in a few weeks after the bye, and I'm just not sure if this is a season worth watching a lot more games of. And like I stated in previous videos, trying to speed this process up to make sure we're getting as much fun and action as possible. It does make sense for me at this point to maybe sim this game and the Bengals game, and then we can return and we can end up watching the Colts game in week 14. Obviously, you guys probably already know this by the thumbnail and probably the title, but me at this point, I really don't know. But that makes the most logical sense to me. So I did end up doing the focus players, and the 3 that I selected so far are Julian Chambers, Warren Williams, and oh crap, who was the other one? Was it Jermaine Hayward or maybe it was Otis Watts? Crap, how did I forget that already? Yeesh. Well, I know I did those guys because I wanted to see more of them to see if, you know, they could be the guys that we're looking for in the beginning of the round. So I might have been Hayward. I don't know why I can't remember which one I did, but I know it was Williams. I know it was either Hayward or it was Otis Watts, and then it was Julian Chambers, because I do want to learn more about Chambers himself. Definitely, we're still not going to learn everything about him, but we'll know a lot more about him once we get the rest of this unlocked. It should bring us up to about 90%. And then if I decide to, if I really like him after that, I might even consider adding him for the private workouts later on so we can unlock the 100% for him. I do have my favorites list put together here. It's a lot of names at the top that I just feel that if they're there, we can take a gamble on them. I'm not 100% sure what area I want to go at yet. I did mention one of these defensive ends, which would be a smart decision considering we don't know how much longer Grenard is going to be here or be playing at the level that he's currently playing at, which is why I've sort of zeroed in on Warren Williams and guys like him and Arnett, guys that we can expect to be there around our pick and match up with what we're looking for. Jalen Elliott is really high on these boards, and given the fact that he seems more to be a run support guy, I know he's hybrid, but looking at his 4 here, he's got hit power and tackle as B's, and then his zone is at C, which makes me feel like he might be more leaning towards the run support side of things. Julian Chambers right here, he should be available when we pick for our second pick, depending on where that falls. I don't see him going in the first round anywhere, and he does line up more with the zone so far. He's got the B coverage, which is important to me. But then behind him, we still have guys like Otis Watts, and then even Avery McDonald, who has a lot of his stuff unlocked, and he looks like a potentially really good linebacker as well. And, you know, thinking about it, linebackers is something we might have to consider sooner rather than later as well. Ladarius Grimes lost his star dev. He's been normal this whole season. Josh Barton is normal. Yes, we have Devin White, but they're all getting up there, and I'll have to make that decision soon if we are going to be keeping them for another contract, if we're going to be transitioning away from them. And I still don't even know if I want to go 4-3 long term, or if I want to try to mix it up and go 3-4 on defense. So there's a lot at play right now. McDonald, though, has A zone, A tackle, A pursuit. We know he's going to have at least decent play rec, and he's got B awareness, B block shedding. This could be a really good all-around linebacker for us to draft if he is available for us, and he's only 21. I really like that. His physicals are not the greatest, but he's got great to elite speed, solid to good excel, decent to solid in agility, solid to good change of direction. I'm really liking Avery McDonald right now, too, for a potential pick for us. And then a guy like Shaq Haskins, definitely not somebody that I would be drafting to replace Jalen Petrie, but this could be a really intriguing pick as well. He's that big bodied type. He's got great hit power, great tackling, B's for awareness, play rec, and pursuit. His zone isn't the best, but depending on his skill set, who knows? This could be another one of those hybrid type players that I've been trying to find since really, the Viking series, and I just have never really been able to land one. But 6'3", 222, definitely somebody else that I'm considering. Plus with his round 2 to 3, if he ends up falling to say the 3rd round, it might not be a bad move. I have some more outside pass rushers here as well, just in case. You never know. I mean, what's to say that Lovie Smith doesn't hang it up after this year? He's been our coach since the series started. We're on a downward trend right now. Maybe it's time for him to move on. You know, maybe it's time for some fresh blood to come in at coach and change things up a little bit. I have a lot of linebackers and edge rushers around here. I'm not sold on the group yet. I haven't seen much of them. We might end up doing some more digging on them at a later time if I decide that it's very necessary, but we are pretty much set at linebacker, even if we do decide to stick with the guys we have. And let's say I do decide to toy around with the possibility of a 3-4. We really only need 2 linebackers at that point. At least the ones that we have now, those pass coverage type guys, the more run stopping guys, not the actual pass rushers. Because then we would end up just bringing McManus up, and then Grenard would stand up, and, you know, that kind of thing. I don't have too many offensive linemen on the board, just for the simple fact that we have a good group right now of veterans, plus we have 2 tackles that we're growing for the future. And Tanley, I think his name is. Golly, I can't remember his name, but the backup right guard that we drafted not that long ago, he could end up being a good piece for us down in the line. So we'll see, but I'm not too high on taking linemen this year. I don't see too many that are really standing out to me, but I always like to have extra picks available that I like, even if it's outside of positions, because, you know, when push comes to shove, if I get to a spot and there's nobody else to take and I can't trade down, I got to take a player, and I'd rather take a player that's good, even if it's out of position, and deal with the consequences later of having too many players, right? And then, sorry, I've been rambling, but George Bonds is another guy. He is more of the in-between. This would definitely be a safety, but more of a project safety. 6'2", 217, he's 22 years old. He doesn't have the physical tools of being very fast or very zone-friendly, but he does have some potential. All these B to Ds, the pursuit A to C, if 1 or 2 of these ends up being a B or a C, could end up being a mid-round to a 4th round pick that I would really like to bring on. I haven't been able to find too many linebackers that really jump out for me for pass coverage. Actually, I think McDonald might be the best one I've seen so far in the upper part of the draft, but I did find somebody down in the day 3 area again. Let me try and find him. Here he is, Frank Fletcher. So Fletcher is 6 foot, 250 pounds. He's 21 years old. He's a day 3 guy. He doesn't have the best acceleration and speed and all that stuff, but this guy looks like he could be really good. He's got A hit power, B impact block, and he's got A zone coverage. Now his tackling definitely needs work, but for a day 3 guy, if some of these other ones end up falling into a high category, he could be a steal. I mean, look at the man coverage is A. It's going to be no worse than C. His play rec isn't going to be no worse than C. His awareness could be a D, but it also has the ability of being a B. So he has some really good traits about him. And then another potential player that I would consider drafting way later in the draft is Kyle Caldwell, a quarterback. With Minshew coming up due this year, I don't know what Dalton's going to be, if he's going to end up being a worthy backup quarterback, and I really want to be able to hammer down the backup quarterback. I think I mentioned that a few videos ago, and Caldwell might be the guy. He's a field general quarterback, so he would fit within our system. He's 6'3", 226 out of Southern Miss. He is not going to be any type of a scrambler, but he's got A, short accuracy, B, medium accuracy, B, throw under pressure. So, of course, there are some things to work on, but he's got some decent stats for a day 3 projection. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on him. Interesting story here, though. Trevor Gold, that was one of the top defensive ends that I had on my board. He dropped because he is out for the rest of the year. It doesn't say if it's an injury or not. I wonder if it says so over here. Yeah, it is. It's an injury. Dang. So heart goes out to Trevor Gold and wish him a speedy recovery. Tough injury to overcome for one of the better defensive ends in this class. So there you go. I mean, that might end up being a guy we take a flyer on later too, if he ends up falling down to, say, the 4th or 5th round, depending on how bad his injury is. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad toss-up if he ends up being injury prone. Well, it was a mid-round pick. It wasn't like you spent the first on him. So, but really lacking in the stories as I get farther and farther into this franchise. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Let me know down below if you guys have noticed that the stories get far and fewer between. With us being now 10 games in, and we're in week 11, we're a little bit past the midway point. I figured now would be a really good time for us to take a look at the rest of the league and see where everybody's stacking up at in the stats department. So it looks like Devin Yankee, the 3rd-year guy out of Tampa, once again, Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterbacks just lighting it up. He is leading the way with 3,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Gilbert only 2nd in the entire league. Look at that. Very surprising to see that, at least in the passing yards. 29, 60, 21 touchdowns, of course, the 11 interceptions. Not a very good stat to have for him. Deontay Goodson, the rookie, he was a top pick last year. He ends up coming in, wow, look at this, 16 touchdowns to only 1 interception. That is impressive. Falcons finally finding themselves a quarterback. Lamar Jackson right below him, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Brady Sheehan. Wow, I don't know. Sheehan, I'm going to go with Sheehan. That's a stupid name. Sorry if your name is that, but that's just this weird sounding name. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong, if you know what it is. But he's doing pretty decent. 2,800 yards, more touchdowns, and the same interceptions as Gilbert. I don't like to see that. Dennis Young also playing pretty well. 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Zach Pearson. So a lot of quarterbacks actually playing rather well. Let's see what the ratings are looking like. Let's find the worst rated quarterback right now. That's starting. Here we go. This is it. Mac Jones. The Patriots quarterback is the worst. And then right below him, or above him, I guess, is Davis Mills, who is now the quarterback for the Raiders. Jimmy G in LA. Zach Wilson with the Jets. Justin Fields. Well, a lot of these guys have some pretty good ratings, though, so not too shocked there. But no, a lot of these guys here, I mean, how much longer do they get to play before the team decides to go in a different direction? That is something I want to really start doing as well in this series. Is I want to pay attention to the stats more. And if there's a quarterback or any real position that is just really sucking, I need to look into that team and see if there is a big change that has to take place. Whether if it's a quarterback, like for instance, Davis Mills or Mac Jones, who just are not getting the job done. Do they get traded? Do they get cut into free agency? Do the teams go in a different route, even though a guy like Mac Jones is still 26 years old at a 77? You know, does he get to keep that tag of the starting quarterback? So that's just something I've been interested in doing a little bit more of. You guys know I want to keep this thing fresh and try to give you guys some better stories to pay attention to and some things to really latch onto as we go through these motions of this stuff. And then, of course, Derrick Henry leading the league in rushing all the time, almost to 1,000 yards, 920, 11 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor right behind him. We have, and then look at this, the top 3 running backs are all in our division. What in the hell is that? Henry, Taylor, and Etienne. All of them with double-digit touchdowns. That's crazy. Ezekiel Elliott still doing it here at, what is he, like 32 now? Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, Saquon, Joe Mixon, Breece Hall, McCaffrey, Jacobs, Williams, Swift, Kamara, Aaron Jones. Then at the receivers, Treylon Burks, of all receivers, is leading the league. 72 catches, 906 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So now they have Burks and DK Metcalf on the outsides, and then they have Mayweather that's going to be built up for the insides. The Titans are looking dangerous at wide receiver and at running back. Chris Godwin, of course, Yankee having such a great season, you got to have a receiver to go along with it. Godwin doing it again. Keenan Allen still getting away with some big plays. Juju Smith-Schuster, a 12-touchdown season. T. Higgins now in New Orleans. Justin Jefferson, David Bell stepping into the fold. Stephon Diggs, Earl Quinn, Terry McLaurin, KJ Osborne, Christian Kirk, Rashad Bateman, Julius Edwards, a second-year guy, 10 touchdowns. So that's nice to see. And I'll just sort of skim through down this list a little bit until I decide to switch screens. See if there's anybody else that just really stands out. Alex Poe is way down here. Having Slayton sort of messed with him a little bit. I feel like now that Slayton is gone and Poe is the de facto number one, especially with the way he got that big boost in the off season for the breakout year or whatever it was. He's been really playing well. Defensively, Chris Barnes leading the league with tackles, 93. Greg Rousseau leading with 15 tackles for loss. Aaron Donald right behind him. Brian Burns leading the league in sacks. Greg Rousseau right behind him. Max Crosby, Jadeveon Clowney, Agba, Bosa, Watt, Hunter, a lot of the normal players that you see up on the top of this list. Deion Jones tied for first in picks with 4. Man, the Sims have got to do a better job of this stuff, because now this year it seems like people just can't get interceptions and turnovers on the way the Sim plays this year. It's just crazy how they can't get that stuff right. And then let's take a look at the annual awards and see who is in the running. So right now, Lamar Jackson is your favorite for MVP, followed by Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, some pretty good names. Deontay Goodson getting up there. That is impressive. He's on a 6-4 team. He's a young quarterback, and he is 6th overall in MVP votings. That is really cool to see. Yankees up there too. This is the time that I really start to get into these series, because now you're seeing these players that we watch get drafted starting to take over and make big plays and become the faces of their respective teams. And it's getting away from some of the NFL players that we all know everything about. Doug Peterson is the coach of the year, which is strange considering the Jags are like tied for second in their division and they're 6-4. Okay. Does that have some kind of like legacy score or something? Well, no, that McCarthy's got a bigger one than him. That's strange. And then for the offensive player of the year, it's Juju Smith-Schuster, followed by Nick Chubb. I'll just sort of scroll down these lists. I'm not going to name every single player because the text does that for me. Defensive player of the year led by Greg Rousseau. I wonder if we have any players on this list. Does not look like it. Nope. Offensive rookie Clayton Mayweather. I just mentioned these guys before when we were talking about Burks. Mayweather, potential offensive rookie of the year. They have Treylon Burks, who seems to be coming out of his shell, and now they went ahead and they traded for DK Metcalf. Calvin Pearman right behind in second place. I'm hoping that we can push him up to the top by the end of the season and see what we can get out of that. And then defensive rookie of the year, Marcus Burris leading the way. Okay. And then in the NFC, offensive player of the year, Ezekiel Elliott in his 10th season. Kamara as well in, I think it's his 9th or 10th year. Deontay Goodson at 3 in this ranking. And then going down the list, Yankees up there, Smallwood. Defensive player of the year, Brian Burns leading the way with that. Kevin Stewart, okay, starting to see some new faces in this area as well. Offensive rookie, of course, if Goodson's number 6 in MVP, you know he's running away with offensive rookie of the year in the NFC. It'll be interesting to see which one of the divisions, or conferences, I mean, end up winning the Rookie of the Year awards. Deontay Patton, Jonathan Verdon. Jonathan Verdon, that's the guy that I thought that I wanted to draft late. If you guys remember during the draft, I was like, I'm going to try and steal this guy in like the 6th or 7th round because he was like the bottom of the undrafted, but the Packers ended up being smart in drafting him. And it looks like I should have drafted him earlier if I wanted him. 76 overall. And if you guys remember, we looked, he is like an 80 overall receiving back. So the Packers have themselves a really good offensive weapon now after that. And that's something that I'll have to keep an eye on for now in the draft, now that it's confirmed that that did happen. Because if we find another guy like him, I mean, that's a gadget player like that, almost like a Deebo Samuel type player. You want to have those guys on your team. And Silas Stevenson leading on the defensive side, he is one of the corners that was on my board. I ended up going with Landry, of course, because of the speed, I think. No, it was this. I think it was just the body side. I think Silas was like 5'9". But he is now leading for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hugh Sharpton, Parker Adams, some good names here. Awesome. We got it. We've pretty much done everything. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and we're going to sim to the bye week, and we're just going to see what our record looks like. See if we win. If we win both games, we're definitely going to be paying more attention to the last few weeks of the season. If we lose both of them, well, then we know that this season was not meant to be. But let's go ahead and let's get ourselves to the bye week. All right, so we end up splitting with our 2 games, and we are at 6-6. Let's check that out. So the first game against the Chargers ended up being a huge shootout, 42-35, that we came out on top with. Surprised to see that. Not a fan of how many points we're giving up defensively. And then look at Gilbert again, 3 interceptions. Man, I mean, he's getting a lot of yards. He's still playing well. He threw 4 touchdowns, but he is just not taking care of the football very well right now. Rushing, Jamarian Sweet had a pretty good day, 20 carries, 88 yards. Pierman did not. I'm not sure why he's not getting more touches. I have him starting in everything except power back. It's really strange. And then Alex Poe, look at that. Poe went off, 9 catches, 120 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Wow. Did we get anything on defense? Jonathan Grenard got a sack. And we didn't have any Oh, we did have an interception. Patrick Queen. There we go. Yep, Dre Greenlaw forced and recovered a fumble. And then another high-scoring game. Not as high as the one before, but we end up coming out with a loss against the Bengals. 31-28 was the final. And Gilbert, this time, protected the ball well. Didn't throw the ball a whole lot, it looks like. Yeah, he only threw the ball 9 of... Oh, he got hurt. Is he out? No, I didn't have any injury things, so he must have left the game early, but he was having a heck of a day when he was in. And then Minshew came in and threw 2 touchdowns of his own. No running, it looks like. Wow, just absolutely like no running. Nico Collins went off for $122 and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Walker almost hitting the 100-yard mark. And Alex Poe getting a touchdown of his own. So we had a really good day once again receiving. Frank Bonner leading with tackles. We had 2 sacks, O'Menihue and Broussard. So we find ourselves sitting at 6-6. Somehow our defense dropped to an 83. Was there like an injury? We do have some upgrades. Let's check those out. Quite a few upgrades. Alex Poe, the first one. And we are going to do... I think we just keep doing the deep threat, though, and try and get ourselves another speed or excel. We don't. Okay, well, it is what it is. Leo Walsh also getting one. We're going to go vertical threat for him. And let's see what he's got. Oh, he gets an ability slot. Derek Stingley getting himself an upgrade. And I definitely want to go zone with him. He needs to get better at zone, so we're going to go that. Hopefully we get some play recognition as well. And we do not. We get agility, awareness, jumping, tackle, and then 2 to zone. Nate Davis going to get one. And we're just going to do the agile, keep that balanced at the 82. There we go. James Pearson also going to get one. And this is who I was talking about before. You know, look at now, it's his 3rd year. Yeah, he's star, but he's already 25 because we drafted him at 23 years old. That is why I tend to stick away from those kind of guys. We'll just stick with agile here for him. And now he gets up to an 80. Well, 79. Jordan Walker going to get one as well. I definitely want to see him get some more speed. If we can get him up some more, in the speed category, that would be excellent. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, there we go. We get 1 acceleration. So we now have 80% uncovered for Julian Chambers. Let's see what we're working with. A, awareness. B, zone. Man coverage is horrible. C, play rec. C, pursuit. B, hit power and stamina. So, wow, okay, he's starting to look really good. Really want to know what his tackle is, but we know it's a B or C. His injury is going to be pretty good, B or C. Catching, A or B. He looks like a pretty good fit for us. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. And Warren Williams is 100% unlocked, and he is a round 1 talent for sure. Not a top 5, but we know he's round 1 talent, which is good to know. Let's see what his full skills are. So A, awareness. B, play rec. A, power move. C, block shed. D, finesse. B, pursuit. F, stamina. F, injury. Oh man, don't tell me. So everything checks the boxes except for the injury and stamina for him. We have 3 division games in the next 4 weeks. 2 back-to-back here, the Colts and then the Jaguars. This one is at home. The Colts are 10-2. So in the AFC, we have the Colts with the AFC South. Of course, they'll just assume they're going to win. Browns with the North, Chiefs in the West, and the Bills in the East. So there are your 4 division winners. And then we have the Steelers in the North as a wild card. The Bengals also potentially a wild card. The Ravens a wild card. The Titans a wild card. So not until we get to the 4th potential wild card team is the next team in our division up, and that is the Titans. Oh boy, we have an uphill battle for sure. We are the 11th ranked AFC team as it stands right now. Well, this could end up being the last game we see this season, considering how it's gone. We're sitting at 6-6. The Colts coming in here at 10-2. Gilbert has not had the best season. While it's been a good season, not the best season. A lot of turnovers. Landon Steele doing a heck of a job now at the helm with the Colts. And one thing that I did find out is we are going to not be seeing Jonathan Taylor as he is out with an injury. Dylan Byers will be the man behind Landon Steele. And can we get ourselves an upset? This is a big matchup here. A loss today pretty much spells the end of this season. There is no point to continue watching if we fall below 500 at this point in the season. 1st and 10. Colts coming out here. A little quick play action. Steele going deep over the middle and overthrows Jonnu Smith. That would have been a big play. Luckily for us, it falls incomplete. Both teams so far not doing much on offense. Both teams have had a shot and have had to punt it. As Steele, this time he delivers over the middle. It's Peoples-Jones out to the 35. A big catch. And this time he's going to hand it off. A little cut up the field and nowhere to go. It was Waller on the rush. And he'll end up not gaining anything. 2nd and 10. Another little play action. Steele heaving it deep down the right side, and it's out of bounds. Looking for those big shots. It could end up proving to be good, though, because they're going to draw our defense back a little bit. And Steele, no, he's going deep again. And this time it's caught. And it's a touchdown. What happened to Greedy Williams? All right, 2nd quarter time. 2nd and 7. It's going to be a pitch. And McManus all over that one. Petrie and White clean up, but McManus with the play, and it's going to be a big loss. Loss of 6 on the play, and now 3rd and 13. Now, last time out, when we had him in this position, we gave up the 1st down. This time, we will not, and we'll get the stop. Awesome. 1st down, Dylan Gilbert looking for some answers here, as we have not been able to find much. As he fires for Poe. Poe making the catch, and he's out across the 45. A lot of 5 wide so far. Gilbert drops back, and he lets it go. This time Walker makes the catch, but it's only good for 4. We find ourselves in 3rd and medium now. Pearman in motion. Blitz coming, he gets rid of it in time. It's Walker turning upfield, and he's across inside the 30. Make that inside the 25 to the 24. But now Gilbert we just need some consistency here. Let's keep this up. Oh, a nice throw to Collins in the seam, and he's down inside the 10. Very nice throw there. That was definitely off target, off rhythm throw. He just saw the opening and threw it. Look at how Collins had to adjust this route. First and goal from the 7. 17 passes already today. I don't like that. Uh-oh, Gilbert running. I mean, this is the same book that we saw just last video where we ran the ball over 20 times. Same exact book, same exact schemes. And oh, wow. That was almost intercepted. Not a good throw. Third and goal. Come on now. We need a big play here. Just throw it to Poe. Or miss a wide open play. What happened? Did you guys just see him blatantly miss that throw? That's crazy. And we'll have to settle for another field goal. Neither team really trying to run the ball. At least the Colts are giving it an option, though. 7 attempts for them today. A lot more balance of an approach as Byers takes up the middle there for a first down. Nice run. Empty backfield on second. Nice throw to Jonnu Smith, who gets hit and falls across the marker, and he'll get another first. 3rd and 5. Really want to get off the field here. Come on, defense. Make a play. Going deep, and it is caught. How in the world did he just catch that? Wow. I mean, Greedy Williams has got the coverage. He's all over him. But he somehow holds on to that and makes the catch. Like, I can't even be mad about that. Another handoff to Byers, and he goes right up the middle for the touchdown. No resistance at all. Dylan Byers puts them up 13-6. All right, here we go. We're going to hand it off to Pierman. Oh, Pierman gets a nice lane, and he gets out across the 35. There we go, finally. Play action. Gilbert looking for Poe. He finds him. Now Gilbert going to throw it again over the middle, and it's Poe again, wide open. Gilmore having a tough time keeping him contained, and I think that puts him over 100. No, just a yard short. 1st and 10. Gilbert lets it go. It's Collins still fighting. He'll get down to the 13. Poe's lit up. I want to see a shot to him to the end zone here. Come on, Gilbert. Oh, he goes it to Pierman, and Pierman will get the first down. Gilbert lets it go to the end zone. It's caught, but he leads him a little too far outside of the end zone. And now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. And I already know what we're going to do here. We're going to run it right up the middle. The only question is it the insta-shed from the 2D tackles, or do we score a touchdown? It's the insta-shed. Yep. Awesome. Love to see it. And we're going to go for it. I hope to God we don't run it again. 4th and goal. We do. And Pierman gets it! Some little Madden animation BS, but hey, we got it! I don't know how he got held up. I don't know how he got pushed in the end zone, but I'm not asking any questions anymore. Deal, lets it go. It's intercepted off the tip. It's Greedy Williams. Oh, we're about to flip things again before halftime. Can we capitalize? 1st and 10. Blitz is coming. He gets rid of it quickly to Pierman, and Pierman gets the first down. We're going to call our first timeout. We ended up holding on to all 3 of them last drive, which now can come in handy as we have 32 seconds to work with. Empty backfield. Gilbert throws it underneath. Poe again down to the 10. And there we go. All right, so we have a play. We have a chance for like 2 shots at the end zone and then a field goal, essentially. Do we take it correctly? Gilbert over the middle, and no, we don't use it correctly. Oh, God, and now we're going to go for it. We either got to score a touchdown here or throw an incompletion. Gilbert, end zone, touchdown, Walker, and we're going to capitalize on the interception and flip things here right before halftime. Here we go, Colts. Nice shot over the middle, and it is Pittman. We have skipped almost the entirety of the third quarter because it's just been teams trading punts. A couple of promising drives from both teams, but just never really amounted to much more than a first down or two, as we find ourselves here in the tail end of the third, as Steele finds another completion, 2nd and 1. Oh, a nice play. Oh, come on, Broussard. Our D tackle should not be getting blown off of a tackle that bad, or that easily. That's just insane. That man is 360 pounds, and Byers just shoved him to the ground like he was nothing. Steele under pressure, and he's going to go down. Fumble. McManus recovers, and he's got it inside the 25. Big play by the defense again. And now we've got all the chances to make this a 2-possession game. Gilbert's just got to find some people here. Poe, hopefully, and he throws it short to Walsh, and he gets 4. Hand off to Pierman, and Pierman trying to bounce it outside. Does not find much room, 3rd and 4. There's not a lot of running room right now for either sides. As here we go, Pierman in motion again. Oh, and there it is. Big play to Collins, and he reaches forward, but he can't get the touchdown. Excellent play over the middle. And now we got 3 cracks at a touchdown, and I bet you we're going a handoff to either Hendricks or Sweet here on the first play. It's a handoff to Sweet, and he dives in. Touchdown, Texans, 26-14. And an extra point will make this a 13-point game. Oh, no, we're going to go for 2, which makes sense. It would be 2 full touchdowns if we can get it. It's a handoff. Pierman, and he's got it. 28-14 with just under 2 left in the third. We have a chance to close this game out, but it's going to require us to put together a lengthy drive right now. Gilbert's under center, I formation, Sweet in the backfield. Handoff to Sweet. Sweet finds a crease off the right side, and he's out across the 30 to the 34. Great time to find a big running lane. Now let's just keep doing that. I don't want to keep trying to throw the ball. That just kills the time of possession. And we do it anyway. At least it's a short throw to Walsh. They've done a pretty good job of keeping Walsh in check today, though. That is for sure. Gilbert, another quick throw to Walsh. Oh, Walsh breaks free, running down the sideline. And that right there was his bruiser roll coming into play that I gave him with his new ability. Watch this. Boom! He runs right over the defensive back on his way to a big run. 1st and 10, 6.5 to go. Gilbert under center all alone. Another quick throw, this time to Pierman. And Pierman is going to get it for a gain of 9. Nice little crossing route underneath. Now give it to Pierman as a running back. Hand it off, dude. Dude! Oh my God, this guy's obsessed with throwing the ball. All right, here we go. Gilbert, another throw, another catch. Poe turns it upfield, and he's going to get tackled just short of the touchdown. Oh, I was hoping he would dive for it. Poe does not have a touchdown, I don't think, in this game, and that was his chance to get it right there. 1st and goal now. It's going to be a handoff to Sweet, and Sweet breaking off of the tackle, and he'll get the touchdown. Another one, I think that's touchdown number 11 for him on the season, as that is the nail in the coffin, and we get ourselves a huge upset over the Colts late in this season. So we get a big upset. You know, Colts come in 10-2. They're missing Jonathan Taylor. We end up taking advantage of that. Give them their 3rd loss of the season. We get our 7th win of the season. Now we are sitting at 7-6. The Jags are next week. I'm still not sure if I want to keep playing all the games, though. I'm not. So before we end this video, let's just sim and see what happens, okay? Both us and the Titans are 7-6. So they ended up losing that game, which sort of does change things. Let's see what the playoff picture looks like. We're still not in the playoff picture, but we are in the hunt. We know that. So as it stands right now, the Colts, of course, are still the number 1 seed. Browns are number 2. Bills number 3, and the Chiefs number 4. The Bengals would be the 5 seed, the Steelers the 6 seed, the Ravens the 7th seed, and we are actually right outside of that at 7-6. We are the top ranked 7-6 team. That really does change a lot. We might end up having to watch another game or two to see if we can sneak ourselves into the playoffs here. I want to know what you guys think. So we are 7-6. We got a Jags team that is better than us, but is worse than us record-wise. We do have to go on the road. We still have the Titans left and 2 other games, both with the AFC West. Do we play this game, or do we just get past it and get the season over with? I don't know if we can even make a big push if we make it to the playoffs, but we have a shot. We are right on the outside looking in. I feel like it might be something we want to look into more, but again, you know, you guys are the ones who watch these videos. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget. As for this video, though, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, I saw today we hit the 1,000 subs spot. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it more than I can say. And this is just the first step in hopefully many more milestones for me to hit and crush. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a sub if you have not already. I know there's a bunch of you out there that follow the channel, watch the videos, but don't sub. Turn that bell notification on while you're at it as well so you know when I upload. And I'll see you guys next time.